Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and my space. For those of you who are new, my name is Racquel, and those of you who are clicking back on, thank you for coming back for another one of my videos. This video in particular is all about the full moon that we are having tonight in the sign of Pisces. This is going to be an extremely long video, so if you want, go ahead and go get a snack, go get a drink, go get something, because we're going to be talking about the Pisces full moon. There's a lot going on in the sky during this time, so the breakdown of the energies is going to be a little lengthy in description. I did post timestamps below, so if you have your natal chart, get your natal chart as well. I will post a link in the description box for those of you who do not have your natal chart. You can go there and get your free natal chart. It's very simple, very easy. You just put in your time, date, and place of birth, and your natal chart comes up. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Like I said, the timestamps are in the description box as well as the comments below. And we're going to get into talking about the sign of Pisces. So I wanted to start with the sign of Pisces first. So that way we can get a good grasp on the Pisces energy. Pisces energy is very weird energy because it rules the 12th house and Neptune rules Pisces. So they're very dreamy. It's got that very dreamy like vibe, that very spiritual like vibe, that subconscious mind psyche type vibe. It is the 12th house, so anything spiritual. With Pisces, they are more of go with the flow. They see the world in a different way. A lot of them do wear their heart on their sleeve, but while they wear their heart on their sleeve, they really don't pay attention to their own emotion. Like they could be going through some inner turmoil, and instead of addressing that inner turmoil, others might see that they have problems going on, but they tend to not address their own problems. They tend to have this escapism quality. They run and hide from their own emotions, if that makes any sense. So that's the Piscean like energy. It's very laid back, go with the flow, want to be in happy times, want to walk through the world as if I'm in a dream type energy. So that's all the Piscean energy. So now that we know about the Piscean energy, let's talk about moon energy. Okay, so moon energy is how we deal with the world, how we deal with our inner emotions. It is that place inside of us that explains how we deal with our emotions. So depending on what moon you are, everybody, deals with their emotions in different ways. And also, wherever your moon is in your chart, in your natal chart, that is where you are going to get the most emotional about. You're going to have a lot of emotions around that area in life. And those might be emotions that might be hard for you to work through. Also, the house and the sign. So you also got to take into account not only the sign that your moon is in, but the house, because each house rules a different sign. So you want to, say for me, I'm a Capricorn moon. So I do have those Capricorn moon tendencies where I tend to not show emotion. I show it through action instead of telling it, but it's in my third house. So my siblings, the way that I learn, the way that I take knowledge, the way that I communicate, my feelings that's all Gemini like energy. My feelings can get hurt when knowledge, what I'm trying to communicate, isn't being received well. And I get very, very happy and very, very, excited. My emotions, they get very, very happy and very, very excited when when I'm learning something new, when somebody's teaching me something new, especially if it's a brother or a sister that's teaching me something new. Um, but that's just how you put your moon energy together. And the reason why I wanted to tell you this is because I want you to be able to, when I go through the houses with the Piscean energy and the moon energy, you can kind of like piece that together for yourself depending on what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, so that's the moon energy. And now I'm going to go into what's actually happening in the sky. Okay, so we have the full moon in Pisces at 10 degrees, and it's opposing the south node in Virgo at 10 degrees. When you have two planets that are opposing each other, there is conflict there. They're in opposition to each other. The Pisces full moon is all about that um, letting loose the emotion that's hidden within us, finding new things out that's hidden within us. And a lot of us need to go into that solitary space where we are observing our emotions, where we can figure out these new things that are going on within ourselves. There might be some epiphanies that you're having about how you actually deal with your emotions at this time. You also could be getting spiritual downloads through dreams, through your own intuition, through your own insight, however your own psychic gifts manifest for you. Now, with it opposing the sun in Virgo, Virgo is very organized, very structured, very planned, very critical. It's ruled by Mercury, so it's an overthinker, okay, an overachiever, overdoer. Because Virgo is that sign that gets anxiety if things don't go according to plan. Whereas Pisces is the sign that likes to just go with the flow and not have a plan. So you're merging those two energies together and they're in opposition of each other. So you could be feeling this energy. I would look at where you have 0 to 10 degrees of Pisces in your natal chart. So wherever 0 to 10 degrees of Pisces and whatever 0 to 10 degrees of Virgo sit in your chart, those are the two houses that are going to be opposing each other. Those are the two houses that you're going to have to work with to balance them out. Okay, so so next we have the moon. The moon is sextiling Uranus. Okay, so this is a good combination because when the moon is all about our emotions. And like I was saying with Pisces, it being the Pisces full moon, there's going to be some unexpected emotions that might arise in you, but with the sextile, I feel like this is going to be good. This is going to help you move forward. The moon and Uranus are working together in harmony right now. So anything that comes up, there could be lots of happiness, lots of harmony within the home. It also depends on, where it falls in your chart and how it falls in your chart, because it could also go for the bad. But for the most part, this is supposed to help you change. This is supposed to be like the calm or like the new thing that pops up after you've been feeling really, really, really down and out about something that has happened. This is like the reprieve, the pop up, like, oh, thank God this happened, because you've been so stressed and so worried about it, about certain things. We've got the moon. Now, this is going to be a hard aspect because we've got the moon. It is in a T square with the north and the south nodes. So with this, it's all about a balancing act, right? So if the moon is in a T-square with the north nodes, the sun is also in a T-square with the north nodes, because the moon and the sun always oppose each other when they go around the wheel. So, the north node is your destiny, but it is the most malefic. It's the thing that you don't want to go for, but yet you can't help going for. And then you've got your south node where you're comfortable at. So your north node pushes you outside of your comfort zone. Your south node is your comfort zone. So find out what houses those are in as well, because when the moon affects this, you're going to have great emotional upheaval over the two houses that those north nodes and south nodes sit in. So say like, okay, say, say your north node is in Capricorn and your south node is in Cancer. There could be some type of blow up in the house, some type of like knock them out, drag them out fight within the house, because your work life and your home or family life isn't balancing out right. So what I was trying to get with this T-square is that it's going to bring up a lot of emotions around what is not balanced in your life, what you haven't balanced out that you need to balance out in order to move forward. Because come September and October, I think it's October, I know it's later on in September, we've got Saturn going direct, we have Pluto going direct, we have Uranus going direct. So a lot of them are going direct in September, and we're going to see like a big fast momentum, a big fast buildup. So with this Pisces full moon, we really want to find that balance that we need in order to, so that way we can move on and move forward towards our right path and do it so that we're not so burnt out and so emotionally drained. All right, so then we've got the moon sextiles Jupiter. So this is a good combination, because with the moon sextiling Jupiter, there could be lots of happiness, lots of harmonious happiness, fun times around the second. Now, like I said, with if you have not watched my moon cycles video, please go and check the link below, because I talk about the moon cycles and what each cycle of the moon is for. What the full moon and new moons are for. But with this, it's bringing a harmonious atmosphere to our emotions. We feel like we can't be touched. We feel like we have a lot of luck on our side when it comes to our emotions. Now, this could be depending on what house it is and what's aspecting it. But it's going to give you that. Some of you, your emotions could expand in a very, very good way. There could be new people coming in. There also could be travel involved, something traveling back to your home, back to where you want to be. It also could be you wishing that you could go home, just this, this energy. We've got Jupiter, and Jupiter is very expansive, very lucky, very worldly, very spiritual. So with the spiritual aspect and it being a Pisces moon, you can definitely expect some downloads during your dreams. People who don't dream that often might dream a lot this time, especially depending on where Pisces sits in their natal house. Like I said, it's the first decan of Pisces, so it's anywhere from 0 to 10 degrees, wherever that sits in your natal chart. That's the house that's going to be in most in focus. That's the house that's going to be illuminated. Okay. and illuminated for good. So there is luck there pushing you forward, okay? You might be getting downloads on how to move forward. Those of you who have been confused in the past, because Pisces is a very confusing energy. It's very liquidy, very fluid, very, sometimes it can be murky and muddy, right? But this is like, with the full moon, it's illuminating that, right? And it's helping us move forward with a certain amount of luck and universe. So you can expect to see probably more entities around this time. If you believe in ghosts and stuff like that, they pop out around this time. This is where the veil, it really starts thinning leading up to Halloween, when it's at its thinnest. So this full moon is like really the beginning of when the veil starts to thin. So you can start expecting more entities to pop up, more ghost-like entities, getting more visions, more downloads, more spiritual in this time, leading all the way up until, 6 months from now. All right, so we've also got Mercury opposing Neptune, and we've got Venus and Neptune in a trine. So let's talk about Mercury opposing Neptune right now. Now, Mercury opposing Neptune is not a very good energy to be working with. This is an energy that could be lying, cheating. Lies may be exposed during this time. Anything where it's communication, anything talking, anything you watch, anything on social media, anything you read, there could be some lies tangled up within that, because we have, it's opposing the Neptunian energy. And when it opposes, it brings out like the worst. They bring out the worst in each other. Have you ever had that ex that it's like no matter what you did, no matter how you communicated, you always brought out the worst in each other? This is what Mercury and Neptune opposing each other does. So now is not the time to talk about your deep, dark feelings and how you truly feel. You ever hear that? Tell me how you truly feel, right? This is not the time to do that. This is the time to reflect on the new emotions that are coming up and the emotions that we're feeling. Because if we do engage in this energy, we got to also remember that we're coming up on the shadow of Aries going retrograde, or Mars going retrograde in Aries. Sorry, we're in the shadow of that. So that is very combative energy, along with the, Mercury opposing Neptune. This can cause for explosions within the home or within your own interpersonal relationships. So this is really not a time to voice your emotions or your opinions on things. This is really the time for you to reflect, to clear that muddy water. That way you do not say something that you will regret. That is a big thing that's coming out now that I keep hearing left and right. Make sure you pay attention to what you're saying so you don't say something that you might regret. All right. All right, so then we have Venus trining Neptune. Now, this is very good energy to be working with, because this is the energy where, Neptune has you all in the feels. It's all fun energy, and Venus is like that as well. Venus loves to entertain. Venus loves love, likes the lap of luxury, likes beautiful things, So for couples coming together at this time, this is a very good placement, them trining each other. But you don't want to get too overly emotionally involved yet, because remember, Mercury is opposing Neptune, so there could be a little bit of I'm not getting all of what this person really is. I'm kind of falling into the illusion of love instead of really seeing through to the truth. So what you want to do within your own interpersonal relationships is really, just go with your feelings, go with the flow. Listen to the intuitive hits that come in around your love life and around your relationships. Okay? All right. So then the moon is sitting on a midpoint with Uranus trining Pallas. All right. So this is very good for psychic insight, like snap, like bam, like even if you normally don't get psychic downloads or get like psychic thoughts, or you don't think you do, you're going to know. You're going to know when you're going to get it. And a lot of us are going to be getting it because this is, we're all psychic. We all can tap in to psychic energy. Everybody can. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. But are there some that are born like that? Yes, there are, because they are bringing over knowledge from a past life, and they just know how to access it from a past life. But what I kind of got off topic there. Where I wanted to go with this is Uranus trining Pallas. We're going to be getting psychic insights, psychic downloads on things. And like I said at the beginning, with the moon sextiling Uranus, this is all about psychic download. A lot of us are going to be getting it through our dreams. We're going to be getting it, you could just have a thought in the middle of the day, an epiphany, and it's like, yeah, I really feel like that's it, and it's all about getting in touch with your emotions. Relax, go with the flow, let it happen, because when you relax and you go with the flow, you'll be able to get those hits, those intuitive hits, a lot easier. Also, you could be getting them within dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. This is a good time to keep a dream journal. A dream journal, or, even if you have like those epiphanies or thoughts during the day, a lot of people are going to be getting random weird thoughts right out of the blue, and they're going to be like, oh my God, that so resonates with me. You know what I mean? So journaling during this time is a very good thing to do, and I do highly recommend you do that. And then we have Venus in opposition to Saturn and Pluto. This goes right back to the Neptune and Mercury thing. Okay, so what is happening with Venus and it opposing Pluto and Saturn? This is all about transformation in one's self and in one's interpersonal relationships. Okay, so there is going to be some hard aspect there, because what the universe is trying to do is the universe is trying to align you with the right people. So you are going to be having sudden insights, sudden sparks of intuition, sudden like aha, epiphany moments on people that are closest to you or are around you, and you'll be like, why did I think of that? Or why did that happen? It's because they're trying to bring out to your attention, Spirit is trying to bring to your attention what type of person they are, what they could be hiding from you, if they're good for you or not. You might get an epiphany like, oh, this is like my perfect person, this is my soulmate, this is my twin flame, or this is the best friend I will ever have, stuff like that. Or you could be getting those downloads that say, hey, he's done something wrong or she's done something wrong. You need to look into this further. Don't say anything yet, but look into this further. Like I said, with the Pisces full moon, it's about reflection and release. Okay, so you reflect on the insights that you're getting and you release anything that is not right for you, because the full moons are all about release. So just let go and go with the flow. Let it happen how it's going to happen. These energies will affect everyone very differently because we all have different charts. So like the sextile Uranus and the moon, if somebody has the moon opposing Uranus, it might not, in their own chart, it might not really work out the same way that I'm saying it here. It could work out in a different way, but for the most part, it's good energy. Yeah, so new emotions are going to come up to the surface. You're going to feel differently about certain things that you might have not felt for or have felt for in the past. You will feel differently about it. So just let these come in. Don't communicate them, just sit with them, really observe and reflect on them, and then surrender it up to the universe, release it, let it go, and let the chips fall where they may. Because this is all helping to push you onto the right path, onto your right path right now. All right, for your spiritual growth. It has a lot to do with your own spiritual growth, your own soul growth, and your own psychological growth, okay? And it's trying to push you onto the right path. So now I'm going to very quickly go through the houses, and each house I'm going to state the Pisces, what it means to have Pisces there and what it means to have the moon there during this time. Okay, so this is where your natal chart really comes in handy. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to take a look at where 0 to 10 degrees Pisces, that's the first decan of Pisces, where that falls in your natal chart. What house does it fall under? Now, if it falls under 2 houses, you might want to listen to both descriptions for both of those houses and piece together how you think it will resonate for you, or how you feel it will resonate for you this Pisces full moon. Also, I want you to take a look at where your moon sign is in your natal chart. Wherever your moon sign is, that's a house that's also going to be illuminated, okay? So not only the Pisces house, but also where your moon is. If your moon is in your Pisces house, then you don't have to listen to very many. But I would highly suggest that if your moon is in a, listening to the house that your moon's in, and also listening to the house that the first decan of Pisces is in, which means, 0 to 10. So wherever 0 to 10 Pisces is in your chart, you want to listen to both houses or that house that it's in. Okay? All right. So with that all being said, you're going to piece it all together too. You're going to take what you hear from that, take what you hear from this, and piece it together. And that's what is going to be reflected and worked upon on this Pisces full moon. So, without further ado, Pisces in the first house. Okay, so Pisces in the first house, people. Now, with the Pisces energy, like we said, it's very dreamy, very, mysterious. If you have Pisces in the first house, chances are you are a Pisces rising. So this is going to bring up hidden emotional things within your own self. So like your own sense of self. So it could be within your physical body. It could be, a health thing. It could be a drinking problem. It could be a drug problem. Not saying that you do have that, but I'm just saying that this is the type of energy that it's bringing up because Pisces is the sign of escapism. So it's going to bring up all these hidden emotions and hidden problems that you have around your sense of self, okay? How you present yourself to the world, who you feel you are when you present yourself to the world, okay? So you're going to have emotions and things brought up from the hidden okay, that you didn't know was there or you didn't even think was there. So that way you can change and release it, okay? So that's how that energy is going to affect you. Now, if you have your moon in the first house, this could be that you have great, either really, really high self-esteem. This can be somebody who has really, really high self-esteem. Somebody who sees themselves, I don't want to say selfish, but we're working with first house energy. So some people could be selfish. Not all moon first housers are selfish, but that is like a tendency that they could tend to have. But you're going to have epiphanies or things brought up that deal with first house matters. And these are all going to be emotion based. So they're going to be tied to your emotion. Like if you're that type of person that really loves their hair, like has an emotional attachment to their hair, maybe something you get like inspired to change it up, okay? Maybe you get inspired to change it up and you don't like it, but then it grows on you, okay? So something like that. You might get inspired to work out more, or maybe you might find some emotional involvement around health and fitness, or you might just want to take it easy and relax. Maybe your body has been through enough and you need to take a little breather or a little break from certain things. This is definitely the time where your emotions are really going to revolve around your sense of self, who you are. And with Pisces bringing up those hidden things that you didn't realize that were there, you can really reflect on it and get a good look on it. All right? All right, so that's Pisces and the moon in the first house. Okay, so if you have Pisces in the second house, this is how the energy is going to affect you. Now, the second house has to deal with everything that is our possessions, our self-value, our self-worth, what we have, what physical, tangible things do we have in our world that make us who we are. What do we give that makes us who we are? How do we love and get love? How do our material things impact us, impact our self-worth? So with the Pisces energy here, you might find that there might be some things that come up around your possessions, around your money, around what your anything of financial value, anything of material value. There could be certain things that just come up abruptly, that come up from out of the woodwork that you have to address, especially within your own self-worth. How you value yourself. There might be sudden emotions that come up. This goes along with the moon energy. If you have your moon in the second house, your emotions will be more about your self-worth, how you value yourself. There might be little hints that come up around your self-worth, okay? How you put that stuff together. How does your materials complement you as a person? How do you complement others? How do you give to others? Are you greedy or are you giving? Too giving? Because people can be too giving. Because this, second house is ruled by Venus and it's ruled by Taurus. So this is Taurus and Venus manners, which is, food. There could be things that come up unexpectedly around food. You might all of a sudden want to change up your diet. You might all of a sudden want to eat something that you haven't eaten before, or you might want to kick something that you always eat. What else do we got? Dream, sleep. So this is also, because Taurus is that sign that likes to take it easy, okay? They like to be lazy. So they are hard workers when they need to be, but they like to be lazy for the most part. So there could be things that are coming up in dream time, little psychic hints, little psychic notes that is trying to push you forward. Now, earth signs really don't dream that much, but around this time, there are going to be things that give you those little psychic hints. All right. So, Pisces in the 3rd house. So this is if your 0 to 10 degrees of Pisces is in your 3rd house, okay? With this Pisces energy, the 3rd house is all about your attention to detail. This is about learning on a smaller scale. This is about your siblings. This is about how you communicate and how you talk with those around you. So when we throw in the Pisces energy here and the moon illuminating it, it might be illuminating the communications that you had before. Maybe you regret something you have said to a sibling. Maybe you regret something that you didn't learn fully as a child. Maybe you wanted to always take on or go further with your education on a certain thing or on a certain subject. This is about revisiting the past here in this house. I feel like this is about revisiting the past, learning from your past, grabbing something from your past, letting it, acknowledging it, letting it go so that you can move forward. So this has something to do with communication and with siblings, or I have to be real general with this because I don't see everyone's chart and I don't know what planets, because planets being in there can affect it as well. So this is basically saying just go with the flow, let whatever information comes in, come in. You could have new sparks of creativity. You could be wanting to learn something new here. You could get an idea to learn something new, or an idea to teach something new to somebody else. This is really where you need to follow your own instincts and your own downloads and your own psychic downloads. But this is definitely illuminating the 3rd house if you have 0 to 10 degrees Pisces in there. Now, when we throw in the moon with this, this is all going to be emotional. This is all going to stir up emotion. So what I keep thinking of is this pop-up reading. When I get to, because I also channel too. So when I get to this 3rd house in Pisces, I kept thinking about the pop-up reading that's coming up on Friday, that I'm putting up on Friday. And it has all about going back to your past to see what you're curious about, to manifest that into your future. So that's what I feel this energy is about. I feel like it's about something that maybe you want to learn, or you thought about learning about, but you didn't quite, for what other reason or another, you didn't do it, and now you're regretting not doing it. It's about going back to the past and taking that curiosity, taking that thing you were curious in, bringing it forward, and really focusing on that and going for that, okay? With your moon here, it can be a very emotional time for you, all right? This can be, like I said, it could be something that you deeply regretted that you didn't jump on. Or maybe this is the way that you communicated with a sibling back then that you have been holding a grudge for, or you've just you've hidden your feelings towards them for a very long time. You've held a grudge, and maybe it's time to get over that grudge so that you can move forward. This all has to do with, your emotions. So you might find that you hold grudges against people, maybe classmates. Also classmates, this could be like earlier education classmates. You hold grudges against them that need to be let go as well in order for your soul to move on and emotionally grow. All right, so that is Pisces and the moon in the 3rd house. So Pisces and the moon in the 4th house. That's what we're moving on to next. So we're going to start with the Pisces aspect, okay? So the 4th house, it's very Cancerian-like energy, which means home, family, your roots. Those of you who have Pisces on the first part of Pisces in your 3rd and 4th house, this is going to directly apply to you with the moon and emotions, because it could stem back to your family, to the roots of your family. You know, it's also your ancestral ties too as well, but it could have to do with your siblings as well. So just wanted to make that note. I wanted to throw that in there for anybody who might have Pisces in their 3rd. But Pisces in their 4th, these are definitely issues revolving around the home, how you run the home, what the emotions are that are going on in the home, how things are getting done, how people are being treated. It could also bring up hidden or past resentment. Sorry, that was my mom speaking of the home. But no, so this brings up, you know, it could bring up issues, things that need to come out of the woodwork. Family secrets could be exposed here. This is stuff that's coming up out of the blue that needs to be addressed. So in that way everybody can move forward, okay? And this is the energy that we're working with, because we got to remember that, you know, Saturn and Pluto are in opposition to Venus. Okay, so this is definitely an area where you want to watch this energy, because little insights, like I said, little insights on the past and what has gone on in the family in the past. It can also be an ancestral cycle, and what you are trying to do is break this cycle. What Spirit is trying to help you do is break this familial cycle. With the moon here, do not let things upset you. Do not let things upset you. Try to go with the flow, because if you let things upset you right here, especially with Saturn and Pluto conjuncting Venus, you know, that's all about love and friends and stuff, it's not going to be good. And also, you know, Mercury in opposition to Neptune, that makes a horrible conversation, like not good communication, okay? So you want to try to avoid the communication. You really want to reflect on what's happening in your 4th house. What's going on in your family? Are there any patterns that tend to be repeating that need to be broken? So these are the things that you want to really, take into account, and listen to the promptings and your intuition and what comes in through dreaming. If you have a moon here, or if you have Pisces here, you are definitely a dreamer, because the 4th house is ruled by the moon. So the moon is at home here. The moon is very quiet, very calm, can take the emotional upheaval and disperse it right, okay? So you are pretty in control of your emotions if you have a moon here. But you also want to watch what sign your moon is in as well, okay? So you got a lot of Cancer vibes going on with this moon, but you also have the sign that it's in vibes going along with the moon. So like if you have a moon in Capricorn and it's in Cancer, that can be very manic and bipolar like type energy right there, okay? So just make sure that you are reflecting on your emotions and not communicating your emotions, okay? We want to process these and then release the negative, okay? And you can do that any way you wish. You can go out into a field and scream your scream your head off. You could write it down and burn it and send it up to the universe. Write down all your emotions, burn them and send them up to the universe, get them out of your being, so to speak. But however you want to process them. But they are going to come up. There's going to be things quick coming up, just like that is the theme for the Pisces new moon. Or full moon, there are going to be new things coming up, and these things that are coming up unexpectedly is because they need to be released. They have been there way too long. They have been hidden way too long. They really need to come up to the surface and be let go. All right. So that one was really long. That was Pisces in the 4th house. Okay, so Pisces in the 5th house. Okay, now this one's kind of fun. All right, so if we think about this is Pisces and the moon in the 5th house. Okay, but if we think, we're going to do Pisces first. If we think about the Pisces energy, like I said, the murky waters, going through life, going with the flow, kind of not really paying attention to reality. They're the dreamers, that's the Piscean-like energy. This is going to have to, and we're thinking the 5th house. The 5th house is all about your passions, your drives. It's about your children. It's about your fun, your games, who you are as a child, who your inner child is. Okay. So some emotions or passion. Some people might be getting new passions. New passions might be coming up out of the woodwork. This is a passion that maybe you've always had, but you've never really given the light to, or the green light to go on. And it's now coming up and you're like, oh, I never really knew I had a passion for that. And then boom, you got a passion for it and you're following it and you're on the right track. So unexpected passions could come up here, unexpected play, unexpected travel, having a good time, just unexpectedly, like somebody comes over and says, hey, let's party. Okay, let's party. Go with the flow. An unexpected soulmate could pop up here because Leo is the lion. The lion is the heart, the strength, the heart. So very lovable time, very passionate time for you. Very with loved ones, especially with Venus and Neptune kind of in a trine. Did I say they were in a trine? I think they're in a trine. Hold on, let me double check my notes here. Venus and Neptune are trining. So this Pisces being in the 5th house is an amazing placement to be in, because Leo is all about fun and games. The 5th house is all about fun and games, so this is very, dream-like fun stuff. So I keep saying fun over and over and over again. Could be a new person coming in that maybe you have a sense that you've met them before and you don't know where you've met them because you've met them in a past life. That's what this energy can bring about as well. But definitely, it's bringing up, it could also bring up things from your childhood that you might not remember or think, just coming up to the surface. And this has to do with your inner child. So it could be, what you went through as a child, like why you have the drives that you have, why you have the passions that you have. This goes along with the moon in the 5th house. So moon in the 5th house people, they're very fun-loving, carefree, optimistic people. They do kind of tend to wear their emotions on their sleeve a little bit. They're very jolly, jovial, fun-loving. And so with the moon here, what's being brought to illumination, what's being brought to light is anything where you emotionally are attached. So it's like where you're emotionally attached with your passions and your children, like how you are emotionally attached to them. This also could be um, bringing up how you are as a mother, because when you have the moon in the 5th house, you might be, this is more of the adult child, is what I want to say, is like the adult, the mother who is a childlike or is childlike. This could be somebody that is very great and good with kids. So it's bringing up those emotions, those passions, those the hidden aspects that you didn't know about yourself, with those passions and those drives, why you are emotionally attached, why are you like that, and it's going to be bringing that up from out of the woodwork. So that's all I've got for Pisces in the 5th house. If this resonates, give it a like. All right, so now we're going to move on. Pisces in the 6th house. This is a placement, let me tell you. Okay, so Pisces in the 6th house. The 6th house is all about our daily routine. It's about our health. It's about our it's about how we go through our days. It's about, those little mundane tasks. And with Pisces being here, Pisces is more of a go with the flow type energy, where Virgo, who rules the 6th house, is more structured, more planned out. So when you put the Pisces energy right here, you could be the type of person that during your everyday life, you don't have no one set plan. You don't have no one set thing in motion. You go about your days differently every single day. You might also look at your daily routines and the way that you do it in a different way than others do. Others might think you're lazy, but that's really not the case. It's just that you can't focus. You don't have that overthinking. You're not an overthinker. You're not an overdoer. So you really don't overdo things, and people might wonder, like, okay, well, are they not putting all their effort in because they just don't feel like it? But no, it's not that you're not putting all your effort in. It's that you put in so much effort and then you're like, okay, on to the next thing. I want to go with the flow. Let's go on to the next thing. You got that Pisces and Geminis kind of remind me of the same type of energy a little bit, except Geminis are more like I wouldn't Pisces are more space cadet and Geminis are more narrow focus. So like Pisces are all dreamy and space cadet-y, and Geminis, even though they're flighty and they move from one thing to the next, theirs is more, precision, more arrow, more thought out. You know what I mean? But Pisces being here in your 6th house, this could be bringing up health issues. So you might want to be aware, be in tune with your body, stay in touch with your body during this time. It could bring up some health issues. It also could bring up good health related things with going on with inside your body. It also could bring up things in your day-to-day tasks that need to get done that you've put off for way too long. You might actually find things, find trinkets, find that ring that you lost like 20 years ago or 10 years ago. If you have Pisces here in the 6th house, this 6th house is all about material things as well, because it's an earth sign, so that rules it. So you could be finding things that you lost in your everyday. You might find that picture of that loved one that you lost, like you thought was lost like 10 years ago, and that loved one could have passed on, and you find this picture while you're cleaning up, and it brings about a lot of emotion within you. But it's good emotion because it's clearing It's clearing you out, so then that it's clearing out that emotion around that, so then that way you can get the insight on how to move forward. But stuff like that. So it's bringing up hidden things around the home, around your work, your work routine. Some of you could be getting a job offer from somewhere else, because this is the 6th house, which is your daily routine. So it could cause a change up in your daily routine. This time, if you have Pisces in your 6th house, this time of the year, you really, really, really need to step up your game. It's not time to go with the flow for you guys. You've been going with the flow for most of the year. This is the time to really get your house in order, really get your routine in order, and really, focus on what's being brought up, what's being brought to your attention, because whatever's being brought to your attention is being illuminated by the moon here, and it's saying, hey, you need to deal with this. All right, so you really want to pay attention to that. The moon being in the 6th house, if you are a person with the moon in the 6th house, you are a person whose emotions are lie with thinking. Okay, so you might overanalyze things a lot. You might overanalyze your emotions a lot. You might want to, when you get too emotional, you might be that type of person that packs up and cleans the house, or you might be that person that, needs to go to the gym or something like that if you have a moon here, because the moon is all about your emotions and how you deal with them. And since Mercury rules the 6th house, that's all about logical thinking. So a lot of the 6th house mooners, a lot of their emotions tend to come from overthinking. They overanalyze their emotions a lot. So what you need to do during this moon phase is you need to meditate. I'm just going to say it. You need to meditate. You need to calm down that mental body so that your emotional body can tell you what you need to do. So then that way the insights on where you need to go next, the things that just pop up out of the blue, can give you the hints. That way you'll be able to get those hints. Don't overthink those hints. Go with the flow with that, okay? You need to calm that mind down, okay? All right, so that is Pisces and the moon in the 6th house. Okay, so if you have Pisces or the moon, or your moon, so Pisces or the moon in your 7th house, this is for you. All right, so you want that first decan of Pisces, 0 to 10 degrees, okay, within the 7th house, all right? Now, what this is saying to you is there's going to be, you might be going through life not really paying attention to who is actually good for you and who is actually bad for you. You might have that I'm almost getting the feel of Chiron in the 7th house vibes here, where it's like your own enemies are hidden from you. Okay, so like whereas Pisces in the 1st house, you're pretty much your own worst enemy, but you don't know you're your own worst enemy. When you have Pisces in the 7th house, it speaks of other people, like you just like in a dreamland, not really paying attention to how other people perceive you or what other people are doing behind your back. But because of that, now with the moon being the Pisces full moon being in here, and Mercury is opposing Neptune, so you don't want to talk about what comes out, but there might be little hints and little events that come up that actually show you who is there for you and who is not there for you. Who can you live harmoniously with? Who needs to go? And that's basically what this energy is doing for you. It's illuminating who is truly there for you and who truly isn't there for you. Because you could be that person with Pisces being here and Pisces being very sensitive, being one of the most sensitive zodiac signs. And there's a reason why they are psychic, and there is a reason. It's because they are sensitive. They are highly sensitive. Okay, so you grasp other people's energies around you. They really, really stick to you in your interpersonal relationships. You grasp their emotions, but it's like when you grasp their emotions, it's almost like you suck them in, but then they're hidden from you. And then you don't find out till later, and then it's like, bam, like a freight truck hit you. You know, you're like, what? Why would that person do that to me? I never would have thought. No. There's going to be things coming up in this full moon, and this is not to scare you. This is actually to help you, because then you'll find your soul tribe. You'll find the people that are really meant to be with you through your life journey. Okay, this is where you find your soul family. All right, I like to think that we're all soul families here because we all are resonating on the same level, but you also have your soul families around you in your everyday. Okay, these are the people that are helping you grow. These are the people that have made contracts with you, you know, before you came down here to help you grow. All right, so this is where you're going to have a series of either unfortunate events or a series of fortunate events, depending on what is aspected in your own natal chart. But this series of events is really going to push you forward, because you're going to know who's down for you. You're going to know who's ride or die for you and who's not. All right. So that's good. That is amazing. But moon in the 7th house. Now, moon in the 7th house people, they put everybody else first. They put everybody else before themselves. Whereas moon in the 1st house, people tend to be more selfish in nature, because their emotions are tied in with their own identity. Okay. Well, when you're in the 7th house, you are opposing that energy. So it's not about self anymore. It's about others. So you are the type of person who has like a heart of gold. You will give your last dime to somebody because you want to feel that emotional fulfillment of helping somebody out. Now, Venus rules the 7th house. In the 7th house, you know, Venus is all about, you know, loving energy, charity, you know, helping, lending a helping hand. Like Venus is very loving and giving in that way, right? But Venus also knows when not to give and when not to give their energy. So if you have the moon here, what's going to be highlighted for you is where you give too much to somebody for your own emotional support, but they don't give enough back to you for your own emotional support. They just keep taking from your emotions rather than giving to your emotions, if that makes any sense. So a series of events will come up and it will align you as well to your soul family, to the people that you are supposed to have relationships with here moving forward to help your soul grow and you evolve. So pay attention to those intuitive hits. Well, that's all I got for Pisces and the moon in the 7th house. The moon and Pisces and the moon in the 8th house. This is the hard one because Scorpio energy is so complex in so many different ways. I think to be accurate, I think water energy in general is complex because you got a little bit of the spirit, you got a little bit of the emotion, you got your intuition, you got a lot going on, okay? The sea is a big, vast place, but the 8th house in particular, because the 8th house is the cycle of death and rebirth, death and transformation. This rules the sex. This rules the occult. This rules anything taboo. Okay, this is all about transformation of thyself. Okay, so this is the part, the area in life that transforms you the most, that you grow the most. All right. So with that, oh wow, I just had an epiphany about myself. Wow. See, that's the Pisces full moon's already starting. All right. Yeah. Spirit, yeah. Okay. All right. So this is where you have been maybe going with the flow in life. Maybe you don't realize how much you have transformed from way back when. This is, your transformations have been hidden from you. Like, you've gone through these transformations, but maybe you really didn't acknowledge it or pay attention to it. So I feel like there's going to be some things that come up around this time that make you look back to the past and see how much you've grown, and also learning from the past to grow yourself further is what I'm feeling. So, this is really going to expand you in your sex life. Probably some of you, your sex life. This could expand you in in other people's money, wills, death, anything like that could be coming up here. Some of you could be going back home because of a recent passing. I'm sorry if you are. That's a horrible, horrible thing to have to go through, and I've been through it, so it's horrible when it's family. But inheritance could be coming up. So if a loved one has died a while ago and there was a discrepancy over the inheritance, some secrets or some lies might come to the forefront about the contracts or revolving around that inheritance. So definitely stuff coming up to the surface, things that were hidden now being illuminated. Uranus is bringing in this wonderful energy because it is sextiling, I think the moon and Uranus are sextiling each other. So this can, and also the moon and Jupiter are sextiling each other. So this could bring great luck within inheritance, within some type of money, winning money, getting money from somebody else, because the 8th house is other people's money, whereas the 2nd house is your money. Okay, so there could be something going along the lines of, especially if you have Jupiter there, that could definitely increase pay raises, stuff like that, where you're getting money. I really don't think it has to do with career. I think it has to do with more along the lines of loans, people loaning you money, giving you money in some sort of way, or winning the lottery or something like that. But that's what's going on for Pisces. Now, with the moon here in the 8th house, the moon is illuminating how you deal with your emotions here. Okay, so with 8th house energy, your emotions go through so much turmoil. There is so many up and downs, so many deaths and rebirths of your own emotion. So there might be a time where you have questioned that, you have wondered why you went through certain emotional things from the past that really got to you and really stuck out, but I feel like you're going to be able to make peace with it. You're finally coming to terms with it and making peace with it during this full moon in Pisces, because this is going to bring up maybe new understanding into why things happened or how things happened, new information coming up on just how to deal with your emotions in general. So that is Pisces and the moon in the 8th house. All right, so now we're going to talk about Pisces and the moon in your 9th house. So let's talk Pisces first. With that Pisces, like dreamy, like energy, the la 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 going through life, Because Pisces, they are space cadets because they're more in tune with our higher selves. They're more in tune with the frequencies that most of us aren't. They see the world differently than most of us do. So, that all being said, when it's in the 9th house, it's amped because the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, and wherever Jupiter is, Jupiter expands. So if you have Pisces here, it's pretty safe to say that you are the type that is very into your own spirituality. It is very safe to say that you love to travel. You find traveling a spiritual thing for you. You could be that person that travels to a certain place because of a certain spiritual thing. But that's basically the gist energy of it. You want to expand your spiritual knowledge, expand your gifts and your psychic insights from the universe. So if you have Pisces here with this energy that's flowing right now, especially with Uranus sextiling the moon and Jupiter sextiling the moon, because Jupiter, it rules the 9th house, there could be big expansion within your spiritual self. So you might be getting new gifts, new downloads. Something is expanding in you and opening up spiritually. So pay attention to any signs, any synchronicities, anything of that nature. But definitely, there's going to be something. You might get a new gift. I'm gonna be blunt. If you are a psychic, you might be getting a new gift if you have Pisces in this house. And that's something that is awesome. Something that's also hard to navigate. If you have the moon in your 9th house, you are a very loving person. You are a very open person. You have a lot of wit about you. When things get a little too emotional, you might cover it up with laughter. You have a lot of passion and a lot of drive within yourself. You are very attached, emotionally attached to higher education, travel. You are one of those people that might like to go see different things. You might want to go to like the Great Barrier Reef because you find it's spiritual there. You might want to go, to Ireland or whatever, whatever the case may be for you. You love to travel. Travel fills this void within you, this emotion within you that you really need. So for some of you, there could be unexpected travel coming up during this time. Something's being illuminated around your spirituality and your travel sense. So I would say that you're very psychic. Sagittarius moons are known to be very psychic because the moon is your intuition, right? So if you are a Sagittarius moon, you can probably expect that something unexpected comes up where you do have to travel to get emotional fulfillment in some way, shape, form, or another. Something that could have been hidden from you within your sense of travel. Like maybe it was a trip you intended to take but kept getting postponed is what I'm feeling like. It's a trip that you've been wanting to take but you keep having to postpone it, or you had to postpone it for unknown reasons, and now you are finally able to take it, and it's very freeing and very enlightening for you. Like I said, these are just general energies. I don't know what planets are in your 9th house, but that's what I'm getting for you, Sagittarius. Thank you. Sagittarius moons or Pisces in Sagittarius, I meant to say. All right, so now we're going to move on. So, for those of you who have the first decan or 0 to 10 degrees Pisces in your 10th house, this is for you. So, You can expect the unexpected in career. This could be a career change, a career movement. This could also be a raise. This could be a promotion. I feel like this is good energy because we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Capricorn right now. It's retrograde, but it's about to go direct. Jupiter is about to go direct in Capricorn. So, and I forget what date, some date in September, and I forgot. But anyways, so this could bring expansion in your career. Also, you might have some insight on what you truly want to do. The career that's truly meant for you. Pay attention to spiritual, cosmic promptings or intuition. You might have some in dreams, but if you are a Pisces in the 10th house, you're more practical, even though you're more dreamy. Okay, so you could be the type of person who does all the work at work, but never gets any of the credit for it, right? Well, that's about to change if you have Pisces in your 10th house, okay? Pisces is, like I said, it's that dreamy sign, that daydreaming sign. You're very creative. You might find that it might come up that some type of creative endeavor is better suited for you during this time. That's putting you on your right path and your right career goal towards getting you the money that you deserve. But definitely, definitely that. So those of you who have the moon in your 10th house, this is where you find fulfillment being on the job. You find fulfillment in your status. You find fulfillment in what you can bring to the table, what you can bring to other people's table. This is you climbing that corporate ladder or climbing that ladder to achieve great success. And that is what fills you emotionally. You might work out your emotions through work. So this would be the person that if they got angry, they might just drive to the office, or they might go to their office and pull an all-nighter because they're angry and they don't want people to see their emotions. They're going to throw all their anger into their work. Okay, and they're going to get it done, and they're going to get it done efficiently. All right. These are the type of people who tend to take their emotions out in a work-like setting. Now, when they're fulfilled, they're happy, they've done the work, and so that's what a moon in the 10th house can represent. Now, with the moon here illuminating stuff, this could illuminate where a lot of I was going to say cap moons, but well, it is the house of Capricorn. Moon in the 10th housers, a lot of them tend to own their own businesses or strive to be the leader of a management or leadership position within their workspace, because that is what emotionally fulfills them, right? So here you could have, just like with the Pisces sign, you could have an unexpected promotion, or it could go the other way. There might be something going on in your emotional life that pushes you to work really, really, really hard at your career, and then that gives you the promotion that you need come end of September or the next time the Pisces new moon comes around. So that's what you can expect. Now we're going to move on. Okay, so this is Pisces and the moon in the 11th house. Now, this I feel so bad for you guys, like so extremely bad for you guys, because if you have 0 to 10 degrees Pisces in your 11th house, what has been going on in the world might not usually affect you. It might just, you might just kind of, like shut it out and go about doing your own little thing. But what happens is when you have the full moon in Pisces, it's going to illuminate that house. And anything that is hidden within that house that you haven't addressed is going to come to the forefront. So for you, Pisces, something to do along the lines with humanitarianism, something that has to do with the world in general, a charity or a cause. I do see you spontaneously getting involved in something like that during this full moon, or starting something like that during this full moon. Because Pisces, you are very sensitive, so you are sensitive to the world. So it's like you have to kind of shut out the world sometimes to live in your own space. Otherwise, you'll feel everything. And I feel like with the Pisces full moon, for those of you who have first decan of Pisces, 0 to 10 degrees in your 11th house, I feel like you are really going to feel this energy of, I need to do something to help out humanity. I need to really, and things will be coming out of the woodwork around social media, around what's going on in the world in general. But instead of hiding from it this time, Pisces and Aquarius, you are actually going to hop on it. You are being called to duty. There's going to be some psychic insight on what you have to do, what you're here to do for humanity. So keep that in mind. Okay. So if you have the moon in the 11th house. Now, I love moon 11th house people because their emotions tend to revolve around helping others, okay? So they want to help others succeed. They want to help others grow, all right? But because they give so much of themselves, they do need to take that time to themselves. They need to have that rest and that relaxation. The way that Moon 11th house people kind of go about their emotions in a mature, responsible way. Like, I have to deal with this on my own time. I'm going to help you deal with your emotions now, and I'll deal with my emotions on my own time. They give a lot of themselves to people. They are humanitarians in general. That's where they get their most fulfillment, is by helping others and doing for others. They're great leaders as well. The world, and I feel bad for you during this time because you're seeing, if you have a moon in the 11th house, everything that has been going on through 2020 has affected you to the core. I mean, like, seriously, because that's where your emotions lie. They lie in what's going on in the world, right? So, this time you might have things pop up. Hold on. You might have the things that are popping up. It's like, now you got to, okay, so you've given all that you can. Now it's time to take a step back and process everything that comes to light. So then that way you know how to move forward and to help others move forward in the future. You're going to have some psychic insight on how to help humanity, on how to get humanity moving in the right track. But this is going to give you great emotional fulfillment. But first you need to process the information that's coming in, and the information that you're seeing from the outside world, but also taking from the spirit world, if that makes any sense. It's like you got two things going on with you right there, Aquarius. So it's like, it's about you grounding the spiritual clothes into and out to the world, basically. And this is what is going to be illuminated for you. All right. You are, so expect, psychic phenomenon going on with you because you are very psychic. Also expect some shakeups or some things in the world, or maybe in social media, that get you to move in a forward step towards humanity. All right. All right. Well, that's all I got for you, 11th housers. If you have a Pisces or your moon in the 12th house, this is what it means for you. Now, Pisces, if you have your first 0 to 10 degrees in the 12th house, okay, you're probably a Pisces rising. You're a Pisces rising if it's that. So there could be a time where you have maybe you don't know that you tend towards escapism. This could be drinking, this could be food, this could be watching shows, this could be being lazy, this could be just not wanting to deal with the world, because you do feel things on a much deeper, more sensitive level, and this tends to make the Pisces rising want to escape. But with this Pisces full moon, it's like now you can't escape from what you were trying to escape from. If that makes any sense, it's like you're being forced to see what was hidden on your inside, what was hidden in your subconscious, what was hidden, within your own emotions, what was hidden within the spirit world. Some of you might actually be seeing entities around this time if you have Pisces in the 12th house. I don't want to scare you about that but Pisces is a very psychic sign, and when you have your own sign at home in your own house, you're going to get double that power. So you're probably going to be seeing ghosts and spirit and stuff like that around this time, because this is about the moon illuminating what's hidden. All right, what is under the surface. This is all about going with the flow, taking what you see, what's illuminated, and processing it so that way you can move forward. All right. So the 12th house has to deal with the spirit world. It has to deal with the subconscious. It has to deal with the hidden. It has to deal with institutions. So anything that, is hidden away or locked away, you might be illuminated during this time, or you might get those random thoughts or those random feelings and illuminate or expose something. Okay, because Pisces, it's your full moon now. So exposing the hidden, exposing the truth, because full moons expose, they illuminate, they shed light in the darkness, right? So anything that's hidden might be coming up to the surface. You are being asked to go with the flow, take in what's hidden, and really evaluate it and use it to your own advantage later on, okay? Keep that stuff to yourself. All right. So if you have the moon in the 12th house, this is a very tough placement, because this is somebody who they do feel what's going on around them, but they can't feel their own emotion, if that makes any sense. Their own emotions hide from them. So if you have the moon here, this can indicate that during the full moon, some hidden emotions might just bubble up to the surface or pop up to the surface. And these are hidden emotions that you need to deal with. You might actually be in the feels this time, might be feeling the feels, especially since we have that Venus and Neptune trine. So you're really going to be in the feels. You're really going to be feeling your emotions. They're going to come up left and right, and it's going to shock you. Some of the things that come up might shock you. It's things that you have to address and deal with because you've hidden it for so long. All right. But do it on a quieter scale. Like I said, Mercury is in opposition to Neptune. This is something you don't want to communicate. This is something you want to keep to yourself, something you want to stew on for a little bit until that negative energy of Mercury and Neptune, dissipate and leave each other. All right. Wow. So that is the long and yeah, I did do the moon, didn't I? I got lost. I'm already feeling the Pisces energy. But anyway, so that is all about the moon in Pisces, what this can mean for you. Hopefully this shedded some light on what you will be going through, what you will be, encountering. Just remember that the key with this moon is to relax, go with the flow, let the information flow in. See, when you go with the flow, the information flows in. So relax, go with the flow. Whatever new information you receive, keep it to yourself, reflect on it. So then that way, when we have better energy towards the end of September, we can use this momentum. Because trust me, the momentum is going to pick up now after this Pisces full moon, because we're going to have planets that were retrograde going direct. So the momentum is going to pick up. So whatever you pick up on intuitively, psychically, or whatever during this full moon, really, reflect on it, keep quiet about it, and then just put your plan in action and then just go for it. Okay? Well, I hope you all have an amazing Pisces full moon. If you want to know how you can best harness this full moon, check out my link in the description box below, where I give on the moon cycles. So I talk about how to harness each moon cycle, how to harness the new moon, how to harness the full moon. So if you're interested, check out the link below. I hope you all have an amazing full moon, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other.